I have more of my life behind me than I have ahead of me.
Your choice.
Chronologically, no.
Your choice. Oh, don't let the evidence of others confuse you.
I'm sorry.
Don't let the evidence of others confuse you. You can play it out any way you want to. You can stay longer if you choose.
That is my choice. And yet I have the the doubt in my soul. The end.
It's not in your soul. That's not where the doubt is.
The doubt's in my head. Yeah, I acknowledge that. I have this doubt. And I have this anxiety. And I have relationships in this life which are beautiful, that I want to explore and enjoy and love. I have...
Before you go further, we want to hear you further, but we want to put this into a sort of concept that is easy to understand. And as we distract you a little bit from the specifics of what you're talking about, you'll get it vibrationally, and then we can go back and reapply it to the specifics, and you'll be able to hear it more easily. So let's say that you're on your way from Phoenix to San Diego, and it's about 400 miles, and you know it. And San Diego, as far as you know, from what you have observed as you've been watching the way other humans live, you've concluded, as you said to us, San Diego will be the end of my journey, because that's as far as people usually make it. I've checked out the statistics, and that's sort of the end. So then you find yourself going more and more slowly towards San Diego. In other words, since San Diego is the end, I think I'll slow way down. And in this scenario that mass consciousness has presented to me, I cannot turn around and go the other way. I can't get younger. I can't go that way. I can only move that way. So I'm going to move really, really slow that way, because that is the end. And then we say, of course, in our geographical analogy, it's ridiculous, because you know you can go to San Diego, and then you can go to Los Angeles, and then you can go to San Francisco, and then you can go to Portland, and then you can go to Seattle, and then you can go over to Spokane, then you can go over to Colorado. You can see, in other words, you know that there is no end to the geography. You can just keep looping around again, and looping around again, and looping around again, and looping around again. And so we want you to understand that from your broader perspective, you don't have any of that sensation of barreling toward an ending place, because from that soul perspective, there is no ending place. You know you are an eternal being. So when you start to capture the essence of the eternalness of who you are, it takes all the sting out of watching the years tick by. Esther is just annoyed as she watches television, and any time they mention anybody, they mention their age, as if it has anything to do with anything. And Esther knows that the reason that most of them are noting the age of most of them is because they're ticking them down. In other words, it's not just that you're 79 years old or that you're 80 years old. It's that you've only got 5 years left, 4 years left, 3 years left, or 19 years left. Or, in other words, that's the way most people are approaching this. And we want to distract you from your chronological observation of this physical life and get you to focus upon the eternal vibration of your being. And as you begin to do that, your fear of this reaching San Diego before you're ready to will begin to dissolve. It's not something that anyone usually does all at once, but in time, with effort, you can do it. You see, the point of our analogy, and the reason that we offer it in this situation, is that a person who believes that there's an ending place looming, who slows down, not wanting to approach it too fast, has a really miserable journey. In other words, it's just miserable. It's like every step along the way is a step of resistance, because it's a step closer to something that I don't want. And that's what we wish for you to get over. We want you to take every step towards something that you do want. And as an eternal being, it really ought to be that way, you see. That's why the beasts of your planet romp in such frisky joy. In other words, they're just not worried about that. They come and go and come and go and come and go and come and go and come and go, and they live in the moment. They love this moment because they're not up against this ending place that is fictional. It doesn't exist except in the mind of man. Not so helpful?
Yes. Yes. I just adjusted my journey. My journey is infinite. It's circular. It ends when it ends, and it continues as long as I continue.
And you know what we notice is that with everyone that we see, and we see everyone, when you begin to capture and integrate the essence of what you just heard here, where you stop putting this ending place on and you just feel how infinite you are, so that it gives you the leeway to enjoy now. What happens is you close that gap, and in doing so, you offer one signal, and in doing so, you are replenished. In other words, we're not kidding you. You could remain in this physical body. In total alignment, we cannot find the ending place of this physical body. In total alignment. That's what we meant when you first began, and we said, it's your choice. You can find subjects that thrill you, and you have to sort of practice your way there. And little by little, release your concern about death, because it is non-existent, and become a vibrational match to the eternal nature of your being. And then let the universe, and it will, deliver evidence to you that it hears you and knows you and surrounds you and supports you. Until Esther laid in bed last night as she was getting ready to go to sleep, and she felt the most delicious, warm energy move through her body. And she smiled and said, Abraham, getting ready for the meeting. And we said, not necessarily. In other words, this is just well-being. This is what well-being feels like. It's timeless. It's endless. It's pointless in the sense that it's not trying to make anything happen. It's just in the moment well-being, you see. And as you start basking in that more and more and more, what begins to happen is the longevity of your experience begins to increase. As your joy moments become more, your life moments in this physical body become more. Really. You have so much control. You are the creator of your experience, you see. But there's a big current out there to buck. There's a whole lot of other people who don't know that, who want to take a very scientific approach and want to tell you that San Diego's right there and you're closing in on it. And what you want to say to them is, that's not my final destination. You don't get to choose my final destination. You don't get to choose when I'm done. I do, and I don't feel done.